Let's talk business in the greater Springfield area with the Springfield Business Journal publisher, Michelle Ownbey, joining us on WMAY. It's Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Michelle, a lot to tackle, including a couple of updates concerning hospitals. Of course, Springfield being a very important medical hub for the region. Let's start off with a new CEO being named for one particular hospital. Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Yes, lots of news in the medical community this week. Actually, the new issue of SBJ is out today, and it features a Q&A with Joe Mullaney, who was just appointed the new Illinois president and CEO for Hospital Sisters Health System. So, of course, that's not just St. John's Hospital here in Springfield, but all the HSHS hospitals statewide. So he just took that position about a month ago and came from, most recently, he was with Vassar Brother Medical Center in New York, but has worked in different hospitals across the country and actually became a hospital CEO at the age of 30. So he's been climbing the ladder for a while now, and if you'd like to get to know a little bit more about him, you can pick up the new issue of SBJ.
So the SBJ, of course, will tell people how they can get their copy, but we talk with Michelle each and every week to get an update of some of the things they cover. And another hospital story, pretty big upgrades happening, $40+ million. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so Springfield Clinic has several major projects in the works. As you mentioned, about $48 million in new construction altogether. They have a groundbreaking scheduled for next week for a new 20,000 square foot 40,000 square foot pediatrics building that's going to be built out on Conifer Drive on the west side of Springfield. So they're basically going to consolidate all their different pediatric offices there and also have a pediatric urgent care area. And then they recently purchased the former Family Service Center building just down the street from our office at the corner of 8th and Vine. The plan is to demolish that and then construct a new medical laboratory, and then they will also have their drive-through services available there for drive-through testing, but basically anybody that needs lab work done will eventually be able to go to that standalone facility instead of the main campus. And, of course, if you've driven by the main campus lately there on 6th Street, you've probably seen all the cranes and construction equipment, and they are in the midst of doing a 4-story addition to the main campus. They're only going to occupy about half of it to begin with, but they're leaving themselves some room to grow. So lots of different things in the works with Springfield Clinic.
Lots of different things for sure, and it just shows how important the medical community is to Springfield and the surrounding area with the incredible investments that are being had. Speaking of investments, taxpayers are investing quite a bit in some upgrades to the Illinois State Capitol building. And Michelle, this I don't think people realize just how much is going on over there. They're ripping up a parking lot right now. There's going to be extended underground parking. There's going to be an underground conference space. They're redoing the entire north end. How much is this going to cost taxpayers, and when can we see this ultimately be finished up?
Right. There's a lot going on, as you said. And just to give you an idea, I mean, of course, this is only one phase. This is just the north wing, as you mentioned, and the project's scheduled to take about 2.5 years. So that kind of gives you a sense of the scope of work happening here. And, of course, back in 2019, lawmakers had set aside $350 million for State House renovations. That was the part of the much larger capital improvements plan that passed. So they're getting ready to get underway on these North Wing renovations, but there was only one bidder. We've all heard the stories, you know. I mean, even if you're doing a project at home, it's hard to get contractors to bid. The cost of materials is way up, labor shortages, everything. So they're having the same issues with this. The sole bidder was Core Construction Services, and their bid came in at $243 million, which was quite a bit more than the $170 million that was originally budgeted for the project. But they say that Andrea Aggert, who's the state architect, or architect of the Capitol, I should say, said that this still fits within the overall money that they have set aside. So work is going to begin as planned.
Good stuff all around. SBJ with the Springfield Business Journal, publisher Michelle Ownbey with us. How can people get a copy each and every month?
You can definitely get online at springfieldbusinessjournal.com and sign up for BizBites. That's our weekly newsletter that comes out every Wednesday afternoon with a roundup of what's happening around town. And as I mentioned, the new issue is coming out today. So if you want to make sure you get that print edition with the expanded news coverage and articles, you can also sign up online to get that delivered to your home or office.
Michelle Ownbey, Springfield Business Journal. Greatly appreciate your time, and we'll check back in next week. Be safe out there, all right?
Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop.